House of EdTech, episode 99.
Hi, this is Natalie Crane-Vanger.
Hi, this is Angela Watson.
Hey, this is Matt Blackman.
Hi, this is Casey Cohen.
Hi, this is Danny Kennis.
My name is Derek Larson.
My name is Karina Gonzalez.
Hey everyone, this is the EdTech Maestro.
Hi, this is Jennifer Williams.
I'm Jenna Klein.
Hi, this is Jennifer Cron.
Hi, this is Jill Dobronsky.
Hi everybody, this is Jessica Johnson.
I'm Josh Gothier.
This is Casey Bell.
Hi, this is Katrina Keene.
Hi, this is Laura Fleming.
This is LaVonna Roth.
Hi, this is Matt Miller.
Hi, my name is Miguel Kudry.
I am Patricia Brown.
Hello there, this is Rich Kikert.
Hi, my name is Alex Rosenwald.
Hi, this is Sharon Plant.
This is Teresa Steger.
This is Stephanie Ryan.
This is Tim Charleston.
Hey, this is Tom Murray.
Hey now, this is Justice Schleider.
Hello, this is Lynn Smargis.
Hi, my name is Stacey Lindis.
Hi, this is Adam Clark.
Hi, this is Brent Catlett.
This is Bruce Reicher.
Hi, this is Dennis Sheeran.
Hi, this is Katie Gardner.
I'm Carrie Gallagher.
Hi, this is Krista Mintz.
Hi, this is Krista Penrod.
I'm Michelle Shelton.
Hi, this is Mike Murata.
Hi, I'm Nate Nagel.
Hi, my name is Richie Lindis. My name is Robbie Lindis.
Hi, I'm Teresa Shadrix.
Lego Batman here.
Hey, I'm Miles, and you're listening to the House of EdTech with my daddy, Chris Nessie.
Support for this episode of the House of EdTech comes from my awesome supporters. If you're interested in becoming an awesome supporter of the show, go to chrisnessie.com/awesome. Welcome to the House of EdTech podcast. I am your host, Chris Nessie. The House of EdTech explores how technology is changing the way teachers teach and the impact that technology is having in education. I discuss technology that is changing our classrooms and schools, and I share tools and tips that you can hear today and use tomorrow. You're going to hear the stories of teachers, leaders, and creators just like you. The purpose? Whether you use it or not, technology is changing the way you teach and how your students learn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 99 of the House of EdTech podcast. Thank you for joining me for some anywhere, anytime professional development. If you are new to the show and this is your first episode, hey, you are in for a great episode here. This is the annual Smackdown that I do here on the podcast. When I launched it in 2014, I decided that the last episode of the year would feature people like you contributing to the show and sharing your favorite tech tools, apps, websites, resources, anything in the last year that you have enjoyed and think should be used in education technology in your classroom, your school, your district. This is the episode where you are the star of the show. But I do have a couple of things before we get started. First, my EdTech thought, which is very short, which is why I'm going to do it right here at the top of the show. I just want to suggest one thing, or actually a couple of things. One, have your pen and paper ready, or you can follow along on the show notes page for this episode at chrisnessie.com/99, and you will there have access to all the links and everything mentioned in the Smackdown. And also be sure to follow all of the contributors on social media if you are not following them already. Thank you in advance for everybody who sent something in to this episode. And of course, after the Smackdown, I do have the House of EdTech VIP for this episode. And also, as I record this, make sure you go out and check out episode 8 of Caitlin's Lifelong Learning podcast, where we talk about our frugal habits and ideas for the holidays. Many of you have commented that Caitlin and I podcast well together, so she's been on this show a couple of times, and I finally got the opportunity to be a guest on her show, the Lifelong Learning podcast. You can access her show notes at katedessy.com/8. And with that, we have a jam-packed show. Let's get right into the 2017 House of EdTech Smackdown. So here we are, the end of 2017. Really, the only thing left this year is episode 100, but I'll get to that at the end of the episode. This year's Smackdown features over 42 of your favorite tech tools, tips, apps, websites for both professional and personal use. Before I play the audio submissions, let me first share some of the things that I got via email. And the first email comes from Ron Nober. from Southampton, New Jersey. He is at Nober_tech class on Twitter. And via email, Ron suggested the following 3 recommendations. First up, Beautiful Audio Editor, which is a free online audio editing software compatible with Google Drive. You can find it in the link in the show notes for this episode at chrisnessy.com/99. Next up is WeVideo, which is the free online video editor, which you can find at wevideo.com. And next up is Bitsbox. That's BITSBOX. And this is a coding app that is free and has paid versions where you are typing code versus drag and drop. You can find it at bitsbox.com/teachers. The next piece of email submission that I got was from former guest of the show, Sharon Plant. And via email, she suggested Speechify, which you can go to getspeechify.com. Again, there'll be a link in the show notes. That is her nominated tool. Sharon was kind enough to also include a link to the Speechify YouTube video where it talks all about it. So let's hear from the people right at Speechify.
Hi, I'm Cliff. I'm a student at Brown University, and I have dyslexia. I can do some cool things. But one of the things I can't do very well is read. Being a college student, I get a lot of work thrown my way. And sometimes an inability to read is hard to cope with. So I built my own software. Introducing Speechify, your new intelligent reading assistant for Mac and iOS. With Speechify, you can audiobook anything. Highlight or scan any text from your computer screen,
and Speechify will read it out immediately. Choose from a range of high-quality voices and languages.
And toggle the reading speed up to 800 words per minute.
You can send readings from your desktop to your phone as mobile audiobooks using Speechify.
Elephants are large mammals of the family Elephantidae and the order Proboscidea. 3 species are recognized.
You can also use your iPhone or your iPad to scan physical textbooks and have them read out to you immediately.
A couple hours drive north of Silicon Valley, you'll find California's winemaking country. The grapes grow well because they have the perfect ecosystem.
Speechify started off as a project to help me manage my work, and now you can use it too, on both your Mac and your iPhone. So, for the college student that didn't finish his reading, but wants to do it on the way to class. For the working professional who has a long commute and wants to get some work done in the car. And for the 10-year-old dyslexic student who's sitting in the back of the class, just trying to cope, like me. Try out Speechify. We built it for you. Because you can do some pretty cool things. Now reading isn't a barrier.
So you definitely want to head over to getspeechify.com, and thank you, Sharon, for sending that in. It's a fantastic app. Definitely head over and take care of Get Speechify and add it to your iOS and Mac. So those were the 2 submissions that I got that were not audio. So everything else from here on in is audio. I'm going to cue that up and play it for you, and I will come back after everybody else has shared their recommendations for the 2017 House of EdTech Smackdown.
Hi, Chris. This is Mark Rundell, 5th grade teacher from Woodbury, New Jersey. I'm just trying to get a jump start on the 2017 app Smackdown. I want to share a couple apps and software that I use in the classroom. The first is Minecraft Education Edition. I'm a longtime user of Minecraft in the classroom, and it's just an amazing piece of software. It's not free. It's $5, but you can sign up with Microsoft as long as you have a Windows 10 computer or a Mac and you have access to Office 365. It's $5, but you get, I think, 25 free logins as a teacher and 10 free logins with your students. So it's a great tool. And they also have an app that goes along with it called the Classroom Companion app. It's a great free companion to Minecraft for teachers to use. It's an integrated GUI system so teachers can easily control the class and see what's going on. Black Rocket is a great local company from Freehold, New Jersey, and what they have is some proprietary software called The Grid. And the grid allows students to actually design and create their own 2D video games. It's awesome. I've used it with my kids for projects, and they absolutely love it, and I love it. And what's best is it works on Chromebooks. So, Chris, I love the show. I would not be who I am without you. You've really inspired me, and just, all your recommendations and everything, it's been wonderful, and it's been a great journey, and I look forward to meeting up with you soon. All right, man. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello, Mr. Nessie and House of EdTech listeners. This is AJ Bianco, 7th and 8th grade socialist teacher from New Jersey, coming at you with my recommendation. And I'm going to come at you with 2 recommendations, but they kind of all go together. If you were looking to start your flipped classroom, the first recommendation I'm going to give you is the EduCreations app for your tablet device. I love EduCreations. I love the ability to record your screen. You can upload pictures and then write over them, and you can make a little video cast for your students to watch for the flipped classroom. Give EduCreations a try. I prefer the app over the website. The second is the awwapp.com with a little app smashing with Screencastify. An AWW app is a whiteboard app, and it's amazing. You can do the same thing as EduCreations, free service. You can make sure you upload your pictures, write over them, use Screencastify to record your voice, and then upload that right into your Google Drive. Give them a try. Congratulations on episode 99. Can't wait to hear 100.
Hi, Chris. This is Anthony Lodato. I'm a high school English teacher at Montville Township High School, and my recommendation for this year's app Smackdown is Loom. Loom is a web-based software usable in Google Chrome that basically works something similar to Screencastify. I like it over Screencastify because it allows you to put a little image of yourself in the corner, and I've been using this screen recording software to leave feedback for my students on their papers. And that way we're having more of a face-to-face conversation instead of just posting a rubric in their Google Doc. Thanks.
Hi, Mr. Nessie. This is Brad Schruffler, host of the Planning Period podcast. Have something for your app Smackdown for this year. Just wanted to share out. One of the best tools I use in my profession and my daily life, especially as an instructional coach, is the Google Calendar appointment slots. I use this every single day. I've built out a calendar of appointments that is period by period, and teachers can book me for any purpose whatsoever. And my first year as a coach, I was in a world of chaos and being pulled in 1,000 directions. And when I started using the appointment calendar, it let me actually plan out my days and know what it was going to look like in advance, so that if a teacher requested me, that is always the top priority. And it really has helped organize my day as an instructional coach. So that's my suggestion for the app Smackdown. Thanks again.
Hi, Chris. My name's Caleb Paul, and I am a teacher in Panama City, Panama. I teach middle school social studies. People can contact me on Twitter at Caleb Paul. That's CalebPahl. I want to recommend 2 tools and apps. The first one is called Quizlet. I think a lot of teachers have been using this for a long time, but I started using it last year for the first time, and I really enjoy the program. My favorite part of it is Quizlet Live, which is a way for students to do kind of a team quiz game together in class. It's a great way for students to kind of review information, and even a way for students to learn new information. It's also a great way for me to create study guides that are digital. And so I'm starting to do away with any paper study guides as much as I can. The other app I want to recommend, it's called EdPuzzle. And EdPuzzle is a way where you can basically assign videos for your students to watch at home, and it requires them to watch the video, and then when as the video plays, it'll pause and freeze, and students have to answer a question. They can't continue watching without answering the question. I like this app because, number one, it tells me exactly how much of a video each student has seen. I also like it because it has a really great selection of videos that they keep adding to all the time. It also allows you to customize the videos by adding your own voice notes and adding your own questions. And so I really like this as a way to assign students homework. It's also a great tool for any teachers interested in flipping the classroom.
Hey, Chris and House of EdTech listeners. This is Dan Kreines, middle school instructional coach in Connecticut and host of the Leader of Learning podcast, which can be found at leaderoflearning.com/podcast. Congratulations on another year of the House of EdTech podcast, and thanks for allowing me to come on and be a part of the 4th annual App Smackdown. I'm an ambassador for a couple different EdTech tools, and I wanted to give them a quick mention here. Flipgrid and Nearpod are a couple of my favorites, but the one I wanted to mention in this App Smackdown is one that I used as a classroom teacher, and I find myself recommending as an instructional coach to the teachers whom I support, and that's called Actively Learn. Actively Learn is an amazing tool for making close reading become really interactive. Teachers can find content or upload content, and then in those texts be able to have students annotate by highlighting or making notes or commenting in the text, and teachers can even put in questions or other media and then use those questions as a formative or summative assessment tool on their students. I love Actively Learn. I loved using it as a classroom teacher, and I love recommending it to the teachers I work with. So that's my App Smackdown suggestion, Actively Learn. Go check it out.
Chris, House of EdTech, podcast extraordinaire. This is Danny Sunshine Bauer over at Better Leaders, Better Schools. I'm going to give you 2 apps for your annual app roundup. First one is free, very easy to use, called Loom, L-O-O-M, over at useloom.com. And you use this to create screen captures, video walkthroughs, video presentations, anywhere you're teaching, giving value. The neat thing about Use Loom is that not only do you record, right, and there's tons of applications like that out there already, but secondly, it records you as you're doing it. So the neat thing is, while you're teaching, if it's a presentation or you're going over a spreadsheet, whatever it is, it's capturing your face. So it makes it just a little more personal, a little more human, I think. The other neat thing is when you send that one-to-one video off, or even if you send it to, let's say, your entire staff. I used it to flip staff meetings. Same thing with parents. They couldn't come in for the PTA meeting. I gave the same presentation, recorded it, sent it out to the whole parent list. When somebody clicks on it, it lets you know that somebody viewed it. So if you did that to a group, not so helpful. But if you did it one-to-one, then you knew that that person engaged with that content, and you can follow up with them, help them out, serve them even better. That's a free app. Paid for app that I'm just crazy about. I'm all in at the end of 2017 going into 2018. This would be an app called BombBomb. I don't remember how much I paid. I paid for the annual service, so I got a bit of a discount. The cool thing about BombBomb, template crazy. So there's all sorts of templates you can steal and that you can adapt to the needs that you have. You create a video. Hey, Chris, Danny Sunshine Bauer here from BetterLeadersBetterSchools.com. Just talking, wanted to see if you wanted to hop on the podcast. If you do, click the link in the button below the video and schedule a time. And I literally could make that video. There would be a button, and I can embed the link. It's so easy. And that would just be for me as a podcaster, as a principal, a teacher. Maybe it's to set up a time for a conference. The applications, the extensions of this app are absolutely infinite, and I love it. The other really neat thing about it is that it animates your video right away. So if you send this BombBomb to whoever in an email, the video is moving, right, for about 10 seconds, and that encourages people to engage with the content. So there's infinite ways that you can use BombBomb. It also tracks emails so you can see when they've been opened, when they've been viewed, that sort of thing. And so if it's a wily parent you've been trying to get a hold of and you see that they opened your email and they clicked it and watched it, then you could follow up with a phone call because you know that you're on the top of mind. So it's just a savvy way of engaging with your school community or with me, with the school leaders that I try to serve. All right, hopefully those 2 app suggestions are great this year. Use Loom and BombBomb.
Hey everybody, it's Derek Larson with EdTechBabble.net. I'm also found online at Lars3EB. Chris, I want to say first and foremost, congratulations on 99 episodes, 4 beautiful years. I'm so excited. House of EdTech is one of the best shows out there. I recommend it to people all the time. So without further ado, I brought a few of my favorite tools to this year's app Smackdown. And I'll warn you, not every one of them is an app, but they're all tools that I use every day. Okay, so first off is the Todoist app. When you're talking task managers, there are so many options out there. And I think my personal view is use what works for you. I'm not one to get upset if you're using a different tool than what I'm using. But I want to share with you my app that I'm using currently. It's called Todoist, and it is amazing. It works everywhere. They've got a great web version. They have a really good iOS version, which is I'm a Mac and Apple person, so I use iOS and the Mac version. I love the way it works. Plus, it has a funny little thing called karma points. So the more often you mark things off your task list, it gives you little points, kind of in a sense gamifying it, so that as you're getting your work done, you're getting points and you're setting records, and it's fun. There's no cost using Todoist. If you pay $28.99 a year for the premium account, you get a few extra features that honestly, what I would recommend is try the basic one, and you're fine. A couple of things. The big thing that made me pay for it is the reminders and the location-based notifications. You can actually put pieces in there, so it'll jump over and it'll give you reminders. And when you get close to, you say, I need to do this project at this place, it'll give you a location-based reminder. But, it makes it really easy. You can have up to 80 active projects in the free plan, up to 200 in the premium plan. Okay, so it's really a phenomenal item. Also, it's great for sharing projects. So Todoist is my current app of choice for tracking my task management, for getting things done. Okay, next up, the Swarm app. Swarm is awesome because it allows me to track where I've been. Now, you don't have to share your check-ins openly with everyone. You can legitimately keep them just for you by not having a lot of friends and keeping your thing private. But then adding friends makes it a lot of fun because you can see where each other are. But even still, you can check in, and it can be totally private even if you've got friends you're sharing with. Why does Swarm app work for education? I think it works fantastic because if you are a person in your district who works at different buildings all the time, sometimes it's hard to remember, where was I on that day? What schools was I working at on Monday? I do this regularly. Every month I have to fill out a report showing where I've been in my region, what schools, what districts. And I just have a habit that whenever I get somewhere, I always check in. Usually a lot of pictures, so it makes it even easier to see. But it makes it nice because as I'm going back through, I can quickly click on and say, okay, here's where I was. I was in this place or this place. And it's great for tracking where you've been. If that's important for you or for your employer, I would highly recommend using an app like Swarm. Okay, next up, I've got a great one. Is an app called Gas Cubby. And Gas Cubby is a phenomenal app for tracking your fuel consumption. So every time you fill up your gas, you can track how many mileage and everything. But it also allows you to track service needed on your car. So this is actually really cool. Now, again, why does this fit in education? Well, we want to make sure our vehicles are running smoothly, that we're not forgetting things. Gas Cubby is great for this. I've been using it for years and years. And about a year or two ago, I can't remember now exactly, they were purchased by a larger company called Fuely. And Fuely has an app that tracks just gas, which is fine. But I like Gas Cubby because I think it looks nicer. And I also think that it has more features with it being able to also track all of your car service needs. So I love Gas Cubby for those reasons. I think it works really nice. Gas Cubby is a paid app, and I believe it's iOS only. It's not very much. I think it's like $3.99, $4.99. But again, for me, it's worth it. It's nice because as soon as I log it in, I can then log onto the website at fuely.com, and I can see all of my reports and see all my information, which makes it really nice. It could also be a great way for tracking information amongst an office, amongst office stuff where you're all logged in. I would highly recommend Gas Cubby by Fuely. Okay, next up, I have a great service called Kite Learning. Now, if you guys have not heard of Kite Learning is fantastic. The way I think of it is kind of like lynda.com, where you've got the videos, you've got the training and whatnot. But what Kite is good for is it's PD by teachers for teachers. So they're a great company who hire teachers to basically make screencast videos of different apps. And you can go and you can look on their site, and they have a whole bunch of different apps. I mean, we're talking over 100 videos to look through of great EdTech apps and EdTech tools. So absolutely fantastic. Kite Learning, I'd highly recommend you look into them. Again, they're more of a service. You get a 14-day free trial when you first sign up, and you can pay either $7 a month, which may seem like a lot, but when you're talking PD, I think it's actually really good. Or you pay $75 a year, which brings it down to like $6-something, a month, which is actually really cheap considering there's a lot of stuff. They have great tools where districts, they've actually worked with districts as well, and districts can then upload their own training content into the service, and teachers can go through it. It will track courses you've taken. There's a quiz at the end so they can show credit for different things, and some districts use this for like continuing education units, and so it makes it really, really nice for them. But just as a teacher, sometimes it's nice to go in and just see, hey, here's some new apps. How can I use this? How does this work? As well as how could this work in my classroom? So I think Kite Learning is a great tool. I think it's worth every penny. $7 a month, like I said, could seem like a little bit like a lot, but if you think about it, you can actually go through quite a bit. Even if you didn't do a whole year, you could do a couple of months over the summertime and get some pretty good stuff there. So Kite Learning is a phenomenal tool that I highly recommend. Hey, my next app recommendation is Google Voice. This is a great tool that I've loved using. I use it all the time as a classroom teacher, and frankly, I'm a little surprised it hasn't been brought up in the app Smackdowns to this point. Google Voice is a great tool that allows you to give out a phone number that people can use to call you without actually calling your real phone number. As a teacher, I wanted to have a number that I could text parents or they could call me or whatever, but yet it wasn't my actual phone number. And so Google Voice was the perfect tool for that. It was great. You set up, it's free, and then whenever people call or text that number, you can forward that to any phone number you want. So, for example, they would call that number, and it would come right to me, and I would then be able to call and respond. And for all they know, that's my actual phone number. It's almost like giving yourself a second phone number, a second line to your phone without actually having a second line. It makes it really nice. Here's another way. A school I'm working with right now, they have a program in their school called the Wellness Center where kids can go and kind of chill out, kind of calm down. It's really interesting. And what they do is they have a single number, it's a Google Voice number, that if the teacher has a student who's leaving the class to come down there, the teacher will text that number and say, hey, Johnny's on his way down. He should be there in a minute. And it works out really nice. Well, that number then shoots to anybody who's involved in that wellness center. There's like 3 different aides, a couple of teachers, and with one single text, it can go to everybody in one shot, almost like a group text without it being a massive group text. So that's a great way to use that. Plus, it's like what happens when Sally leaves her job there, or when Michael no longer works for the district or for the school. Simple. Whoever owns the number just gets in and says, stop forwarding to that phone number, stop forwarding that phone number, and no need to even worry about it. It makes it really, really nice. I highly recommend Google Voice. Great tool to use for different things. Good piece there. Okay, my final recommendation is called Art Snacks. Art Snacks, and you guys, I'm an analog person. I love analog tools, so of course I got to throw at least one of these in here. Art Snacks is one of those subscription boxes. There's a subscription box for almost anything these days. This is a really, really good tool, and I think it's awesome. I bought it for my dad because he's an artist. I've not personally bought this for me because I'm not really like artist kind of person, but I love it for people who are interested in art. What it is, you pay $24 a month, and it can be a one-off box. It can be a subscription where you pay that every month, and they send you 4 or 5 different art supplies, things you would never considered even using. And you know what? It's amazing. They're full-size products, as well as a menu describing what each product is. When I gave this to my dad, he's an artist, and he got some awesome like brush pens, a really cool, heavy-duty like notepad of something or other. Some great tools. Honestly, He's like, I would have never bought any of this stuff, but he's since gone on to replace one or two of those items because he likes it so much he's used them a lot. He's bought refills and whatnot. So great tool. You can get a box every month just on lettering, and every month you'll have things coming in that have to do with that. Really, really cool. Highly recommend Art Snacks. I think it's a great thing. Well, guys, thanks for letting me come on board and take a few minutes. Chris, again, congratulations on 4 wonderful years of House of EdTech. Look forward to next year's App Smackdown and seeing how far you come with another year. Thanks.
Hey, Chris, Derek Crabtree here from Maryville, Tennessee. I teach 8th grade social studies, and my suggestion for the App Smackdown is a Flipgrid Snapchat combination. Now, probably a lot of people already know what Flipgrid is, thanks to Flipgrid Fever, and it's amazing. It's a video platform, a video discussion platform in which you can allow students to have a voice in their learning community. The twist I'd like to throw on that, though, would be allowing students to record their responses in Snapchat, save those responses to their camera, and then upload the video to Flipgrid. And, of course, you know you can do this because Flipgrid has a mobile app. The problem that I had that allowed me to discover this is I had some students who, for one reason or another, were not entirely comfortable having their faces shown in the video on Flipgrid, which kind of boggled my mind because these were the same students who were in the hallway taking selfie after selfie and video after video on Snapchat. So finally the thought occurred to me, allow the students to use Snapchat to record their responses to the topics and then upload those to Flipgrid. And that allows the students to really have some flexibility with the face filters, the voiceovers, and all of the AR stuff that kind of comes with Snapchat. That's my suggestion. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at CrabtreeHMS.
Hey, this is Don Wettrick from the Start Ed Up podcast. We can be found at startedupinnovation.com. The app I'd like to share is Coinbase. And the reason why I suggest that is blockchain is going to change currency the way we know it. Now, there's been a lot of buzz about Bitcoin lately, and it's not necessarily just Bitcoin that's going to change the world. It is blockchain. And one of the ways you can get started in investing in blockchain is by going to Coinbase. I strongly recommend looking into it. Again, this isn't necessarily an app that is traditional, but one that I think that teachers should take a look at because, well, we need all the financial help we can get.
Hello, this is Gretchen of the Always Lessons Empowering Educators podcast. Thanks, Chris, for allowing me to share my favorite tech tool with your audience in celebration of your 99th episode. Woohoo! Congratulations. So my tech tool is actually a website, and it's amazing. It's called wonderopolis.org, and on it, it has a Wonder of the Day, which is obviously factual information, plus videos and images to go along with that. Students are able to test their knowledge, and if you're looking for something more specific, rather than just the auto-populated Wonder of the Day, you can search by keyword based on something you might be learning in your current curriculum or a student's own wonder. So that's amazing. Speaking of a student's own wonder, you can contribute your own questions or wonders to the Wonder Bank, and they are posted as ideas. So folks that are visiting the site can vote thumbs up or thumbs down if it should make it as a formal, official Wonder of the Day. That's really inspiring for students. Then they also have what's called a Wonder Jar, and this is an idea to use at home. So you stuff a jar with wonders, and you use them as discussion starters as you're sitting around the dinner table. And the wonders for the jar are produced right on the website, so you just have to print them off or copy down just the ones that you want on a piece of paper, stuff them into a jar. Parents are loving the unique conversations that are happening and obviously all the learning that's going on. If you're truly loving Wonderopolis, they have a store full of tons of stuff like camp kits and apparel, notebooks, journals, pens, pencils, lunch totes, whatever. They've got you covered. Part that I really enjoy is Camp Wonderopolis. This is for students that aren't able to go to summer camp because it's free online summer learning aligned to the STEM curriculum. So for the 2018 summer camp, it's the Wonder of Music. So if your students are interested in music or they're not able to attend a summer camp, let them know about Camp Wonderopolis. Last but not least, they have the Wonderground. This is just for you teachers. It has lesson plans and classroom resources created by other educators. Plus, they're aligned to the standards, and you have access to the entire network of educators. So basically, Wonderopolis is amazing, and you should use it every day in your classroom and at home. Okay, folks, that's all from me, Gretchen, of the Always a Lessons Empowering Educators podcast. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your school year.
Hi, this is Jen Brummer. I'm calling in from Florida, and I am an ESL teacher. I wanted to share with you a video quiz maker tool that you can find on islcollective.com. It's free. There's no download needed. Very, very simple to use. It's great for ESL teachers especially, but anybody could use it. All you have to do is import a YouTube or Vimeo video into the tool, and it prompts you how to create different questions that pop up throughout the video so that you could focus really on the student's comprehension rather than trying to keep organized during the showing of the video. So I found it very, very helpful. Makes the lessons go very smoothly. It's so simple. You don't have to be very into EdTech to use it. It's very, very simple. And it's free. So check it out, islcollective.com. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach me at facebook.com/Jen Brummer, BRUMMER, ESOL, ESOL. Thanks so much.
Hi, Chris Nessie. It's Jen Giffen, and you've done such a wonderful job. I can't wait every week or every other week to get the House of EdTech in my podcast stream to listen on my way to work. It makes me so happy to learn new things and hear perspectives from you and your guests. I also have a suggestion for the app Smackdown, or an app that I really like. I found it about a month ago, and it's really changed the way that I work in terms of productivity and organization. It's called Session Buddy, and it's a Chrome extension. And essentially what it does is it saves open tabs as collections that you can quickly find later. So once you install Session Buddy, whenever you push the icon on the little Google toolbar, it'll open up and it'll say, hey, here are your current open sessions. And you can save them. So you right-click, you click Save, you can take out ones that you may not want, and then you can rename the collection. And then every subsequent time you open Session Buddy, that saved session will be there. I'm finding it really, really helpful in terms of finding things quickly. So I love Google Drive, and often I put things in my starred folder, but things aren't always on Google Drive. So I tend to do things like right now I'm leading a project called Innovative Approaches to Curriculum-Based Learning. And I have a whole bunch of resources I would share with the schools I'm working with. I have our agenda, I have our plans, I have our slide deck for our launch. So what I did was I opened everything we possibly use in a tab, opened Session Buddy, saved that session, closed them all out, and then every time I need it, I just have Session Buddy as a pinned tab in my Chrome browser. I open that pinned tab, and I can just go to the ones I want easily. It's basically virtual bookmarking, but for some reason I find it a lot easier than just actual bookmarking. I've loved it. I've shown people. I've made major converters. I highly suggest that people check it out who are House of EdTech listeners. I have another app for your app, Smackdown. This one's an app that works both on iOS and on Android devices, and it's called Draw Your Game. Essentially, what you do is you download the app, and then you go analog. Yep, you heard me right. You get a piece of paper, and you get 4 markers, a black one, a red one, a green one, and a blue one, and each color represents something different. And essentially what you have to do is you have to draw the frame of a video game. So one of the colors represents some sort of hazard, the other one's the actual floor. And once you're done drawing, you take a picture or capture the image really with the app. It imports into the app and then drops a little stick figure into what you've drawn, and you try to conquer the field that you've created. I'll tell you, I've used this with adults who adore it, and my kids who are 7 and 5 really, really love it. They spend a lot of time just drawing something and seeing if they can conquer their own game and each other's. What I really love about it in terms of kids is that the color blue you would think represents water, but it doesn't. It's gems that you need to collect. So if you happen to use it as water, as one of my sons did, he put it underneath where he had to walk, thinking, oh, wouldn't this be cool? It's sort of like water under a bridge. And he realized he couldn't complete his level because he couldn't get to all of the blue. And for him, he threw a little bit of a fit, as you do when you're 7 years old. But then he realized he needed to iterate. And I think it's a really cool way to show kids to really think about process work and really do some planning before a final product so that you can be successful. And you can do it in a way that starts as a game, so that when you lead to something that might be a little bit more high stake or a little bit more difficult for them, they're already in the right mindset. So it's called Draw Your Game, and it's a really great app.
Hi, Mr. Nessie. This is Jenny Marmion from linktoteach.com, and I decided to jump on here and share my app recommendation for your 4th annual App Smackdown. I'm a reading specialist from Illinois working with students in grades K through 5, and I entered the EdTech world about 4 years ago searching for a way to individualize lessons for my reluctant readers. I came across this app called Class Kick. It's available on both iOS and web. And in each of the lessons, teachers and students can add items right into the lesson. You can add photos, PDFs, audio, links, and text. The lessons are managed in real time. I can communicate with my students in privacy. And this privacy has helped my students tremendously because I can give them live feedback and assistance exactly when they need it. So I love this app. I think most people should take a look at it and see what they think, especially if you're looking to individualize for your students. You can find me on linktoteach.com, also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That is number 2. And if you like green screen technology, but you've yet to find a tool that can be easily worked by children as young as the age of 5, then this tool's for you. Green screen technologies entered my class about 3 years ago, and it continues to intrigue and empower my students daily. Being able to put that responsibility right into their own hands of creating photos, videos, and much more with this green screen app, my students have completely taken off with it. The Doink app allows students to use photos or video taken in front of a green screen and create lifelike news stories, create writing projects or research reports where students can be transported at any point in time, become budding rap artists singing their latest self-published song, and so much more. The only caveat is that it is only found on iTunes as an iOS app, but it's the best $2.99 I've ever spent as a teacher. If you'd like to see more about how Doink works, you can go to my blog at linktoteach.com, or you can go visit @Doink on Instagram. The creator puts continual posts up each day about teachers from around the world using the app. It's wonderful. I just found your podcast, and I feel like it's Christmas for me. I thank you for all your content that I can't wait to dive into.
Hey, Chris. Josh Allen from the Dads and Ed podcast. Check out more about Dads and Ed at dadsanded.com. The website that I want to share this year for your Smackdown is classintercom.com. What I love about Class Intercom is it sets an approval process where kids can create social media content for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Once they submit it, it goes to someone to approve it. That could be a student editor, or it could go directly to a teacher. And when the teacher approves it, it can go on your district social media or any other social media platform that you are managing. So here at my full-time job, we are setting it up with our journalism students. And we also have a social media intern that is starting this week as part of an internship class. And they'll be creating original content for our social media platforms. So check out Class Intercom. They are at Class Intercom on Twitter. Taylor and Ben are fantastic human beings and do a great job helping educators share their story on social media. You can also, again, check out the website, classintercom.com. And, hey, follow me, too, at @J_Allen. And especially follow our favorite Dads and Ed podcast, the Dads and Ed podcast, at Dads and Ed on Twitter. Thanks again, Chris. Happy holidays, everybody.
Hi, my name is Katie Gardner, and an app I'd recommend is called Bunsy. Bunsy is an amazing app that allows you or your students to create like a presentation almost, where you can add text, visuals, audio, video. I use Bunsy in my kindergarten ESL class to create digital writing prompts for students to answer with pencil to paper in their writing notebook. The students are able to see the prompt, hear it, or watch a video of me reading the prompt and use the pictures and text or audio support on the decorated screen to write the answer to the prompt. I've also seen it used to create a flipped lesson for students to respond to during class for independent practice or as an assessment. It's awesome, and I would definitely recommend trying out Bunsy. And another app I'd recommend is called Write Reader. Write Reader is an amazing app where students can create their own books on their iPad or laptop. Students can choose an image from an image bank or take pictures and upload the images from their camera to use in their book and then write the text to support each picture. There's also a location for teachers to write a text as well if the student uses lots of inventive spelling or it's hard to read. Once students create their book, they can upload it and publish it to a digital global library where other students around the world can see and view their books. Teachers can also print out the books to create a hard copy and have students read their hard copy of the books they created to peers, their parents, and it serves as another reading resource for them to use at home. Once again, I would highly recommend Write Reader. Check it out. An app that I would highly recommend is Seesaw. Seesaw is an unbelievable app and program which students can create a digital portfolio of their learning throughout the year. Students are able to record a video, write, read, listen to a teacher prompt. There's so many different things you can do with Seesaw. And it creates a digital portfolio to how students work throughout the year so teachers can see how students progress. There is also a parent connection to Seesaw where parents can sign up to connect to the Class Seesaw account and receive notifications on their phones once students upload their work. Parents can comment or send the teacher a private message, which is pretty awesome. And for me as an ESL teacher, there also is a translation feature so students and parents can communicate in Spanish. I also use the blogging feature on Seesaw where my students and I create a class blog and connect with other Seesaw blogs to make global connections with our students and classes. Seesaw is pretty impressive and I would highly recommend checking it out. If you haven't checked out Apple Clips, it's an amazing app just rolled out by Apple this year. Clips is a video creation app where students or the teacher can create a short video filled with animation, text, music, and all sorts of awesome things. I use Clips in my class to create a weekly newsletter video that is embedded with a flipped lesson for students to complete with their parent at home to continue the English language learning. I roll out my Clips video weekly through our Seesaw account so parents can receive the video on their phone. The thing I love about the Clips app is that it has a voice-to-text feature. So while you're recording the video and speaking, the text will appear on the screen, such as a closed caption. It's pretty awesome, and I would highly recommend checking it out. An app I would recommend is Stop Motion. I'm using Stop Motion in my kindergarten ESL class to complete a new project which I call Linking Legos with Literacy. My students will use Legos to retell, to create stories, or sequence a story, a literacy story that we've heard from a read aloud or independent reading. We will then use stop motion to create a movie where the Legos move around to retell or make a story. Students love seeing the Legos move, and it's very easy and friendly for the younger learners. Check out Stop Motion and see the awesome videos that you and your students can make. And I would recommend checking out Recap. Recap is a video response app where students can sign on to their Recap account and view a teacher video asking a question for them to respond to in a video response. It's very similar to Flipgrid, but it has a few more features that are pretty cool. Students and teachers can go on journeys aligned with the standards they are studying to check out a series of videos and answer inquiry-based questions to find out more on the subject or unit they're about to start learning about. If you haven't checked out Recap, I would recommend it. and see what it's all about to help your students practice their listening and speaking skills. It's also awesome for inquiry-based learning.
Hi, this is Matt Miller from the Google Teacher Tribe podcast, which can be found at googleteachertribe.com. And the app that I'd like to share is Flipgrid. And you may have heard of Flipgrid before, but there's one part of it that you may not have that I really, really love, and it's called the Discovery Library. So when you go to Flipgrid and get logged in, you can find the Discovery tab. And the Discovery Library is where teachers have shared topics that have gone over well in their classroom that might work for you too. So you're able to go in and find other topics and pull them in and start using them immediately so you don't have to create things on your own. Think of this as the Pinterest for Flipgrid, where you can go out and find things that work for you and share your own best stuff as well. And I'd love it if you checked out my podcast, the Google Teacher Tribe podcast, which I do with Casey Bell. And you can connect with me on Twitter at jmattmiller.
Hello, Chris. This is Mike Yardley. I'm a special education teacher in southern Utah, and I also blog at eduinterventions.com. My app pick for the app Smackdown is an app from DuckDuckMoose called WordWagon. WordWagon is just a great little app that teaches students how to spell basic words. It starts out very, very basic, where they're matching letters, and it builds up to where they're spelling the words more independently. It's a fun app for the younger kids. It's primarily targeted towards preschool, kindergarten age, but I use it a lot for kids that really struggle to learn their letters and letter sounds, even up into first and second grade. It's just a fantastic app that's very, very well made, especially for the cost. It's a free app. DuckDuckMoose recently partnered with Khan Academy, and then they made all of their apps free, and they have a great selection of apps. They're available on iOS, Android, and on Kindle Fire.
Hey, Chris, this is Stella Pollard, and you can find me on Twitter at Stella_Pollard, and I teach in Frankfort, Kentucky. So my app that I have for you is an oldie but a goodie, and it's Screencastify. Screencastify is a Google Chrome extension. If you're not familiar with it, it's basically just a tool that you can use to record your screen as well as record your face. You can also add it to where it records your screen and your face at the same time, which is pretty snazzy. However, some things that are different, and I have to give Matt Miller a shout out for these ideas, because I did not come up with these on my own. But some good ideas to use Screencastify for would be to have students use Google Earth or Google Maps and create their own virtual field trips and let them be tour guides. How cool is that? Student presentations. No longer do you have the students standing in front of the class, and it takes 3 or 4 class periods to get through all of the presentations. Have them use Screencastify. Super simple. You can have them be a newscast. You can do virtual book report. And then you could also do comic strip / flip books by Google Slides and let them just kind of go through their story, and as they read it, just slides through the slides.
I wanted to share another EdTech recommendation. Classcraft is a website that allows you to gamify your classes. You can import your students directly from Google Classroom, so it makes it very easy to use. The students love it. If you have the premium account, you can buy pets and extra armor and all of that. But Classcraft has an excellent free account as well. And with that free account, it's basically you get to apply XP, GP, and all of the other points to your classes, so your students can obtain those points to do things in class and have sentences whenever they fall in help. If you have the paid version, you could also do quests, and the possibilities with Classcraft are just unlimited, and it's pretty easy to use. If anybody has any questions about it, they can reach out to me on Twitter, and I'd be glad to help them.
Holy cow. I really hope you took my advice before we started and you had a pen or a pencil, or you were following along at chrisnessy.com/99. that was a fantastic House of EdTech Smackdown. You guys who contributed and gals, you did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. And this is the first time I'm going to thank you before the end of the show. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days and your busy lives to send audio, send your emails, and share what you've enjoyed here in 2017 in the world of education technology. So many great apps, recommendations, whether it's personal, professional, just so many wonderful things. And the beautiful thing, because this is a podcast, even if you didn't have a pen or a pencil, just go back and listen. And if you found value, please share this episode around on social media. Use the hashtag House of EdTech. Tag me at Mr. Nessie. And hey, let's spread the word about some of these awesome tools that can be used in and out of education. With that being said, speaking of things that are going on in and outside of education, actually, you know what? That's not really a good transition. So I'm just going to say, let's go over and meet this episode's House of EdTech VIP. This episode's House of EdTech VIP is you. That's right, you. Whether you are listening right now in your car, or the treadmill, or on your prep, or your lunch, thank you for listening. I've received so much great feedback from you in 2017, and I've been able to connect with you more than ever this year. Again, we're getting ready to release episode 100 of the House of EdTech. I can say, in these last 99 episodes, I've gotten the opportunity to talk to so many of you, meet so many of you, and because of it being modern times, none of this would have been possible a decade ago or 15 years ago, as podcasting is still in its infancy and podcasting predates, connecting on social media. So thank you. I would really like to continue building our relationship, and I want to have you be a part of the private Facebook group. If you haven't joined it already, just go to chrisnessie.com/Facebook. Now, I understand that Facebook isn't for everybody, so if Facebook isn't your thing, or maybe you don't mix professional and personal, that's fine too. Go over to chrisnessie.com/feedback and send me a message. I know that there are a lot of you who I've never heard from, but I know that you listen religiously, and I can't thank you enough for doing that, and I hope that you'll take the time to say hello in 2018. So thank you for checking out this episode of the House of EdTech. It was a blast to put together the 2017 House of EdTech Smackdown. Thank you again, and I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you again to everybody who contributed to this episode. Be sure to follow everyone who shared something if you're not already. Most everybody is on Twitter, but there were a couple of other social media platforms and websites that are going to be in the show notes over on chrisnessie.com/99, where again, you'll be able to keep the conversation going, and you'll be able to get the links to all the information and resources that were shared in this episode. So again, go to chrisnessie.com/99. And since you're the House of EdTech VIP, I hope you'll say hello at some point, hopefully maybe right now. That's right, right now. Just stop here, go to your computer, go to chrisnessie.com/feedback, send me a SpeakPipe, or switch over to your Voxer app, or however you can reach out. I want to hear from you. Say hello. We're friends, right? Speaking of that, if you enjoy the House of EdTech, and if you get this far, and I know a lot of you do, and I'll be honest, I was surprised, when I did the t-shirt giveaway a couple episodes ago, and the t-shirts are currently being made and will be sent out hopefully by the end of the year. So again, I am on it. But if you enjoy the show, tell somebody else about the podcast. We're getting ready to do episode 100. Tell somebody else. Maybe they didn't listen to the first 99, but let's get somebody in on the new ground floor, which will be episode 100. If you share the show on social media, use the hashtag House of EdTech, or you can tag it at House of EdTech, and you could do that on Twitter, you could do it on Instagram. Especially for Instagram, I would love to see pictures of where you're listening to the podcast. So try that out. I also, on that account, will give more behind the scenes of what's going on here in the studio, and, how I kind of put the podcast together. And I'm looking forward to providing even more content on Instagram going forward into 2018. Now, the other thing you can do is you could also become an awesome supporter of the House of EdTech. Many thanks to Jeff Herb, Peggy George, Mark Grindell, Brent Warner, Dan Gallagher, Jen Giffen, Scott Titmus, and my newest supporter, Eric Kurtz, for all of your support. If you're interested and willing to become an awesome supporter, it's super easy. Just head over to chrisnessy.com/awesome. And the next episode of the podcast is episode 100. You're not going to want to miss it, let me tell you that right now. So be ready for that on December 17th, 2017. And until next time, thank you for learning with me. And remember, using technology isn't difficult. Just give it a try. The House of EdTech is a proud member of Voice Ed Radio. Voice Ed Radio. Your voice is right here. For more great content, go to voiceed.ca. The House of EdTech is a proud member of the Education Podcast Network. The Education Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators, podcasts by educators. For more, go to edupodcastnetwork.com.